If you're familiar with the channel, you'll know that we never really know what we're getting into in a particular video. This one, we're taking a little break from the Ranchero here, and we're going to be doing some graphics installation on a KTM SX250. Here you can see I've already laid out the plastics, kind of how they'd be on the bike, just for reference. I'm going to go ahead and get the graphics out, see where they all go, and start putting them on. And if you want the part number for this entire kit, there is a part number and all the bikes that it fits. Looks like it's an SX 125 all the way through the 300 plus the 4 strokes. And here is a QR code. All right, so here I've got some of them laid out. You can see the rear fender. You can see my logo right there. But yeah, so we got the rear fender, the front nameplate, side plates, front fenders here. There are a couple that I'm not 100% sure exactly where they go just yet. I know since the bike's not here, I do have the extra swing arm decals. So normally this kit has a Yamaha. This is the first time I'm doing a KTM, and this actually looks a lot smoother. So hopefully the application goes a whole lot better. We're going to go ahead and get started on the nameplate. We'll probably move to the rear fender, just get some of these easy ones out of the way. So at this point, I think I want to slow it down and actually do some real-time stuff and explain some things while I'm going. So you saw a couple methods I used. One was a wet method and one was a dry method. I mentioned earlier that the YZ or the Yamaha had a lot more curves to it. So most of these I put on dry, and with the exception of one. And I did that because it had some contours in it, and I thought I needed slip solution, just like window tinting, in order to get those contours. So what I've decided to do, I think I can finish out the rest of these dry, and I'll show you one reason that it's better to go dry than wet. So this is the one that we put on wet, and you can see it's not all the way down here, and it's going to take a few passes with heat and paper towel to get all of the moisture out from under here. But these other ones are down, and I use the heat to help contour the graphics. So the heat helps with the contouring, it helps with the pressure sensitive adhesive, and then you could see when I was adjusting some of these, I would just do a quick pull and I was able to remove the sticker from the plastic. It is pretty aggressive, but it's not as bad as it might seem. So we're gonna get on the tripod and we will finish out doing the rest of these in real time. Okay, we're going to do one of the shock towers now. The first time I did one of these, I was very confused. This one, it's actually nice that it has a feature that we can locate on. So that feature is this oval cutout. And that should get us pretty close and get us placed pretty close. What I'm going to try to do is center this in that area right there. Like that. And then we can, I think right now we can just go ahead and heat it up and start rolling one way or the other. The heat is our friend unless we have a wrinkle. If we have a wrinkle, we want to let it cool, peel it up, and work that area out. But right now I'm just going to heat it. And you can see it wanting to fall over. That lets us know it's a good time to start working it. And I find it easy just to use my finger. And we'll just go slow. And you can get it to stick down, but you got to be careful not to trap an air pocket in there. So you'll see me work gradually from here that way. And there's a feature right here, so I'm going to push in to that so that it captures and it doesn't bridge across. And when we do a wet install, it's a lot easier to lose that feature because there's water trapped in there. Another reason I prefer the dry method, but I just didn't have the confidence until this set. Just making sure there's no way I had this on the wrong side. The reason I say that is there's a piece right in here we'll have to trim. Like I said, this was one of the hardest pieces for me to do in the very beginning. So maybe it doesn't make sense why, because it looks like it's pretty easy to do. So I'm gonna wait to trim that until I'm done with the rest of it. So now we're just going to work this way. I don't know if you can see all the same areas that I'm seeing as I'm doing this. And any of these features that we can get looking good, we kind of want to use that as a reference point. So now we can pretty much lay everything all the way down. Okay, we're going to call it on this one. I'll grab the other one. So this one's going to be a little different because we don't have the same feature that we can locate off of. But we'll still have a couple that we can use. And kind of like I did that front fender. Oops. We can peel back some of this, try and get our features that we want lined up. And that to me looks pretty good, centered on that right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of this off and try and go straight up with it. And here's another feature. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. This radius right here. So I'm trying to watch that as I pull this around. So here we are again. We're just going to start right here and we'll go one way or the other. And I think we'll start right here and we'll just go up. Here I'm going to go ahead and try to set that location, and we'll be able to work out some of this extra material with the heat. And that was just kind of tacked down so we wouldn't lose track of it. Okay, we have a little bit of wrinkling right here, but that was from me trying to keep this edge on the inside of the plastic. So we'll work this all out. Just want to lock everything in on this side. Now we will go this way. Seems like there might be some different shape shock covers, because this one I'm going to have to trim as well. I can feel it on the back side of my hand. Oh no, I guess I'm wrong. That rarely happens. So it looks like I did get a little air pocket here. We'll see if we can deal with that here in a second. We've got another one to take care of too. In less than 15 minutes, we did both of the shock covers. All right, we are ready to do another side panel. And this time I am not going to do it wet. And anywhere you see a notch like this, that's going to be on a bend. So this is going to actually bend around this corner. And I don't know if you can see this notch. So there's a notch here at the bottom and at the top. So I know that needs to fall right there. And being that this is the middle, I'm going to use that. And then you can see this notch right here. I know that is going to be right up in here. So I'm going to use these features to help me locate this piece onto here. And I'm just getting wild with it because it doesn't pay to be scared of it. I want you to be able to see what I'm actually doing. Okay, so I was using this corner here and these to locate this. And one thing we don't want it to do, we don't want it to come off of this edge here, but we want it to be really close because this is only part of the number plate or number tag. And then if we look up here, we can actually stand to go up a little bit. So I think we can just take the whole thing up a little bit. So here we're looking decent back here. And we can have excess material here. You can see we're kind of on the bubbly side, if you will. But we also have a contour here that's going to eat up some material too. So I'm not too worried about having some bubble here or excess material. I'm going to kind of try to lock that feature in. And I'm going to try to move this edge forward a little bit. And I don't know if I'm being too particular, but this is just the way I would do it if it were mine. So I think we're just going to work up from the bottom. I think we're in pretty good shape. I'm going to try to stretch it. It seems to have worked it a little bit. We're still on the edge here, not over the edge, so we don't need to trim it. So now I think we're actually in really good shape. I'm going to heat it, smooth it out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and heat and turn this corner because I think we're good to lock in, and maybe we'll go ahead and get this situated where we want it. What I'm trying to do here is hold the corner tight as we go around to keep from having any extra material come around that corner and wrinkle up. We're going to heat this area, get it pushed down. And the best thing to do is just start at the where it's tacked and kind of work up from there. And then this area here is intended to kind of follow this contour. That should be kind of hidden under the seat, I think. All right, now we just have this last section here, and you can see there's a little bit of a gap right here. I want to get that cleaned up and get it going where it needs to go, and we'll probably have to heat it and then pull it around to go where we want it to. I don't know if you saw that, but we were able to get that right where we wanted it. And again, we're going to kind of work from the bottom, kind of push it up, keeping an eye on any areas that might want to try to pucker, and just kind of work those out. I'm going to heat this area right here. We should be done once that's laid down. When I first started installing graphics, this I would have definitely put on wet just because of the different contours, the different directions that it wants to go. But I've finally gotten comfortable with putting these on and knowing what a pain it is to have to wait and keep working on getting the moisture out. So dry is the way to go. So let's move on to the next one. No, this one only took us 10 minutes. And I'm happy with that. It was not a super complex piece, but just trying to wipe off any dust or dirt that may have gotten on these since I took them out of the package. And I'm sure my hands aren't super clean. And on this one, it looks like we need to be looking for a couple things. I see on the front edge of this that we have a feature that we can locate on, and that's going to be up here. And then we have this feature back here, which tells me that we are going to be coming around this corner here. So we should be able to line this up, and kind of work the rest of it. And again, we want this edge being as close as we can, so that it matches up properly here. Maybe we put it together or put it on with it like this so we have a good place to start so they line up nicely. Okay, I think that'll get us close enough. So we will just go back to working on this feature here, making sure we are where we want to be there. And then we'll come over here. And I think we need some heat to kind of bring this around because it's not going to match up exactly where we want it. Might not need heat. I think I got it to lay right where we want it. I think we just heat it here in the middle and work it this way and work it that way. And I think we'll be right where we want to be. Okay, so under 20 minutes, and we got both of these pieces done. Looks like we've got one more piece left, so we'll jump into that here in just a second. So you probably know the drill by now. We're looking for features to locate on. And on this one, covering up a bunch of white here, but we've got some provisions for the screws that go here. We have this little mark right here. It's going to go along this edge, and then the one toward the bottom here is right here. So we can locate this edge, and then what I might do is get that located first, and I'll only peel half of this back. We'll get that located, and then we'll move forward to a couple of these other locations. All right. So we'll use this as our starting point. Sorry if you couldn't see that. I was fighting with this corner here. We're just going to work it. I'm not real sure. We've got some extra material here, and it's kind of hard to see on camera. There we go. Right here. So we'll just kind of figure that out as we go. I think I need to heat it and kind of pull this direction. That laid down pretty good. We'll need some more heat and work this area here in just a minute, but we need to address this. I can actually feel that letting loose. All right, now we just got this bottom edge to work. It looks like that was the last piece. We are still going to have to babysit the one that I put on wet. So I'm going to work on that, but I will show you what these all look like finished. In the comments, let me know what method you prefer. If you've done these before, do you prefer the wet or the dry method? And tell me why, if you have a good reason, or even if you don't have a good reason and you just want to tell me why. So there are just a few pieces left over, and they are going to go on the bike itself, on the frame, the swing arm, and I think the hand guards. So everything that I have installed is right here. If you like content like this, let me know. If you like content like that, let me know also. This is primarily what I'm doing, but from time to time I do these motorcycle graphics, and I've got some other things on my channel. So go ahead and check those out if you've made it this far. And I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.